I can stand his raspy voice. I can stand his advanced age. I can stand his anti-vaxxer views. I can stand his rambling interviews. I can even stand his belief that HIV doesn't cause AIDS. But this is a bridge too far. Yesterday, on February 3rd, independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. joined libertarian comedian Dave Smith on his politics podcast, Part of the Problem. RFK's 90-minute appearance on the program was significant. Twice, he gave Smith what appeared to be a serious offer.
Would you consider the vice presidency?
All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Catch you next time.
The offer for vice president is still open.
Oh, no.
That was cool to hear. Unfortunately, for the rest of the interview, Kennedy served up hot, steamy garbage. For brevity, I will highlight just 3 moments from the episode. This first clip, right here, is the very moment I ceased to be a Kennedy supporter. To be clear, I agree with everything Dave Smith says here.
Do you support the existence of Israel as a Jewish state?
I think that that's fine. I think that it's worth recognizing in the same way that we would probably recognize that it was not legitimate or just or moral what we did to the Native Americans to create our country. However, it happened. It's many generations ago. People have built a life there for themselves, and we're not about to give the land back to the Native Americans. But we should make damn sure that any Native Americans that are still here have their natural rights protected. So that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying we're not going back to...
Aren't Jews actually the indigenous people of Palestine?
Rather than agreeing with Smith that the violent displacement of an indigenous population by colonists is morally wrong, Kennedy states that it is the Jews who are the indigenous people of Palestine. Note, he is not saying that the Jews are a indigenous people of Palestine, but the indigenous people of Palestine. The implication is that the Palestinians are not indigenous. Therefore, they do not have the right to their own Palestinian state. Kennedy later says that to fulfill its original mandate, Israel must be an explicitly Jewish state. Question: what does that mean for the 5 million Muslims living in Gaza and the West Bank? Do they need to leave? Do you know what you call it when members of a religious group are forced to emigrate by a government? Ethnic cleansing, which Kennedy seems to support. Don't worry, though, he has a response to my concerns.
In November of this year, 176,000 Afghans were expelled from Pakistan. It didn't make a ripple. They were legally there, and they were just suddenly expelled.
It's horrible, but I'm not defending that.
In September, Azerbaijan emptied the Armenian state of Artsakh to 120,000 people. No, not a ripple in the news. The only time people, and by the way, during 1948.
Part of RFK's defense of Israeli policy is that very few in America criticized the 2023 ethnic cleansings in Pakistan and Azerbaijan. Therefore, it is hypocritical to call it Israel's own ethnic cleansing. This is whataboutism of the worst sort. Bobby, I'm sorry I didn't publicly denounce the actions of the Pakistani and Azerbaijani governments last year. They were wrong. Ethnic cleansing is always wrong, no matter who does it. One more thing. America sends Israel almost $4 billion a year in military aid. To defend that policy, Kennedy said the following.
I believe that our military aid to Israel actually advances the cause of peace. It allows them to maintain the Iron Dome, which gives them the option of not going to war. We were able to use our military donations to them, which, by the way, are no donation. As you know, they come back here. 100% of it comes back here to U.S. weapons manufacturers. But
oh, great!
I'm not saying that's a good thing.
Wonderful.
Well, don't. I'm just saying that's what it is.
Don't be mad, guys. He's just saying what it is. A benefit of sending billions in weapons to the Israeli government is that the money goes right back into the pockets of American military manufacturers. Basically, RFK believes that the American military-industrial complex is a terrible thing, except when it comes to Israel. Honestly, I'm impressed by his mental gymnastics here. 10 out of 10 performance. To wrap up, I've been a Kennedy supporter for many months now. I've advocated for him to my friends and family, donated over $100 to his campaign, phoned dozens of potential supporters in Georgia, and just last week even volunteered to be campaign coordinator for my entire Midwestern county. No more. This is a red line for me. I refuse to support someone with such a flagrant disregard for human rights. As of now, come election day, I will be voting for no one. Not a single candidate has earned my support. I thought Bobby Kennedy was a breath of fresh air, a cure to the warmongering American Uniparty. I was wrong.